And for those of you who don't know me, I do these live videos to bring about patient awareness and to make people more aware of their conditions, their diagnosis, and the symptoms that they have. If you're watching me on Facebook, please go over to my YouTube and give me a like. You can subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be notified of any new videos that I do, and you can watch them there. If you're watching me on the live, please say hello so I know you're here. If you're watching me on the replay, please comment #replay so I can go back in and say hello to you. Alrighty, so today's topic is a continuation of the previous video that we had done, and that is on the forward head posture. So we're going to take this further today. Okay, so we're going to talk about how can you know if you have a forward head posture and what can you do about it. So there might be things that you will be doing on a daily basis that might be aggravating your forward head posture. So we need to fix that, right? So if you have, okay, let's do a little recap of what we had done last time. So we looked at what is a forward head posture, and we looked at the causes of a forward head posture. So now moving on, we're going to look at the test you can do. It's a very simple one you can do when you have a forward head posture. So if you look at, if you're standing sideways and you look at the level of the earlobe to the level of your shoulder, these two should be in a straight line. So if you're sideways, this tip of the shoulder and my earlobe should be in a straight line. So if I was to drop a line from here to here, this should be straight. If I have a forward head posture, you see how the line actually sits behind my earlobe. So this is a simple test to know if you have a forward head posture. And obviously it can be varying degrees, right? So another good hint of if you have a forward head posture is if you have a little hump on the back of your neck here, you know, where the neck meets the body. So basically at the junction of your cervical and thoracic spine. So if you have a little hump there, or if that area has like an elevated part there, that means that you probably have a a forward head posture for your cervical spine. Right, so those are the two tests simple tests that you can do. There's another one that you can do is if you stand with your if you're standing with your back to the wall, so your bottom, your heels, and your upper back should touch the wall, right? So if the back of your head in that position does not touch the wall, that means your head is forwards. Okay, and if the back of your head touches the wall, that means that you do not have a forward head posture. So that's called a wall test. It's a very simple one. You can try it out yourself. All right, so moving on to what can you do when you have a forward head posture, right? So we had looked at some of the causes. So one of them was if you use a very high pillow. So what happens is your head gets pushed forwards. So obviously the solution is simple, to use a pillow that's of a proper height for you. But then how do you know what's a proper height, right? So you need to get a pillow that supports your cervical spine in neutral. If you are one of those people who sleep on your back, this is especially applicable to you, because when you sleep on your back, you don't want your pillow pushing you forwards like that. So your pillow height should be from the back of your head here to your upper back. So if my back of the head is here and my upper back is here, so if you look at, actually if you measure the two areas, for me my pillow height should be just this much. So the distance between the back of your head to the back of your upper back, to your upper back. Okay, so that should be the height of your pillow. Now if you have a pillow of that height, basically your cervical spine does not get pushed forwards, and it is kept in neutral whenever you're using that pillow throughout the night or in the daytime as per your usage. So that is a point you can take note of. Go back and lie down on your pillow and then check. And if you're one of those who just grab any pillow that's available, just stick to one and make sure it's of the proper height for you. Okay, if you're carrying a very heavy backpack, do try and not carry the heavy one. If you have like a laptop or a lot of stuff to carry, maybe get a trolley bag. If you do have to carry a heavy backpack, make sure it is slung on both sides, or I mean on both the sides, and not just or casually on one side. Or if you're carrying heavy stuff, you can like distribute in both the hands. So instead of carrying a heavy backpack, you have some stuff that you're carrying in your hand as well. Okay. Now, a very important thing: if you are using the computer for a long time, which most of us are, or if you use your phone for a very long time, or if you do a lot of reading, this is especially applicable to you. So, what happens is when I'm sitting here, so let me just demonstrate on this book that I have here. So, if I'm sitting here, this is a line that is horizontal to my eyes. Okay. Now, can see me clearly there. Yeah. So this is the level of the top of the book. This is my horizontal. The top of the book should be 5 to 10 degrees below my horizontal gaze. So you see my horizontal is here. So this is about 5 to 10 degrees. Now you see the difference in my neck here. When I'm looking at a book that is horizontal right in front of my eyes, and if it's a little lower than my horizontal, you see this little nod that I just did. This is called a chin nod. So basically, this is the position in which your cervical spine is in neutral. Okay, so if you're looking at your phone, make sure that the top of the phone is 5 to 10 degrees below the horizontal. Okay, but please don't look down like this at your phone. Okay, because you need to have the phone at the level where your cervical spine stays in neutral. Right, simple. The gist is cervical spine in neutral. That's where our body functions the best, in a neutral zone. Right. Same thing goes for your computer screen. So if your computer screen is very high up, what will happen is you will do this, or you'll be here. I want you in a neutral, which is here. Okay, now for people who drive a lot, okay, or even if you're just driving, right? So what you do is you stare at a point in front of you, which is your horizontal, and just bring your gaze down to 5 to 10 degrees. Okay, so simple enough. The same principle applies to whatever you're looking at, whether it be it your book, phone, laptop, driving, anything at all. In fact, whenever you are out and about throughout the day, you can just do this little bit of a correction. When you're looking at anything in front of you, just do this correction, right? Okay, so if this is called as a chin nod, right? So there are some other exercises that I've seen floating around the internet, which I strongly disagree with. However, we cover all that in details in my free Facebook group. Feel free to join that. I'll leave a link in the description below. And there are more corrective exercises, not just for your cervical spine, like for this forward head posture, but the rest of your cervical spine and lumbar spine. We do cover a lot of exercises, the general exercises there, a lot of conditions, more rationale as to why we are doing these chin nods. All that details will be there in my, are present in my Facebook group. Also, there's something called the upper cross syndrome that results because of forward head posture. It's just, I mean, another fancy term. What it basically means is how does the forward head posture affect my muscles in the front, in my upper back, in my shoulder area? So basically, forward head posture doesn't just affect you here, it affects everything around, right? So there's a lot of muscle imbalance that happens because of forward head posture. So if you want to know more details, please get into the Facebook group, or feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Alrighty, thank you so much for listening in, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.